This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning, all. Am I audible?
Good morning. Yeah.
Good morning. Yes, you are audible.
Okay.
Good morning.
Uh, Can you
Hi, sir. Good morning.
quickly introduce yourself one by one? Good morning. So can you please introduce yourself with your name, uh, years of experience, and your qualifications?
Don't have any SAP experience, 2 years of experience.
Please introduce yourself with your name, qualification, years of experience, if any, in the alphabetic order. Am I audible?
Yes, Suresh, you are audible.
Nice, sir.
Okay. So I'll start with Anushka. Can you please introduce yourself?
Hi, sir. Myself, Anusha.
Mhm.
Hello.
Yeah. Tell me.
Hi, sir. Good morning. Myself, Anusha.
Good morning. Okay. Your qualification
Qualification MBA HR.
and years of experience.
Sir,
Years of experience. Do you
I
have
have
any
4 years of.
experience?
I have 3 years
Okay.
of experience e-commerce analyst.
E-commerce and
E-commerce analyst. Amazon
analyst.
e-commerce.
Okay.
Yes.
You are from Hyderabad?
No, sir.
Oh, fine. Thank you. So next moving on
Okay.
to Sriram. Shriram, am I audible? Okay. Next morning, moving on to Praneeth. Praneeth. Okay. Maniteja.
Hi, sir. Myself, Manitija. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello.
Yeah, yeah, tell
Yeah,
me.
I'm from
Good
Hyderabad.
morning.
I have 3 years of experience in IT executive. I mean, HR
Uh-huh.
executive.
Okay.
No, creating IT recruiting.
Okay.
Sir.
Okay.
I'm from Hyderabad.
Okay.
I have done my MBA in 2017.
Okay. Fine. Thank you. And Venkat Sudhir,
Okay. Okay.
unmute your mic, please. Venkat Sudhir, unmute your mic. I'm not audible.
Now, sir,
Yeah. Yes.
myself K. Venkateswadi, and I have done my graduate diploma in HR in 2017. So that is a correspondence education. I have experience 8 years of experience in HR. So right now I work in Hyderabad only, sir.
Okay. Fine. Thank you. And Dinesh.
Good morning, all. And myself, Dinesh. So I'm holding 3 years of experience in the HR domain, and my qualification is post-graduation in a stream of HR, and I'm currently working in a recruitment.
Okay. Fine. Thank you. Venkat Sudhir, can you mute your mic, please?
Yes, sir.
Right. Sudhir,
Hello,
you
sir.
can mute your mic. Yeah, you can mute your mic.
Mute, sir.
I could able. Okay. Fine. Thank you. And moving on to Aparna.
Hi sir, good morning.
Good morning.
Myself Aparna. I'm having 4 years of experience in IT and non-IT recruiting.
Mm-hmm.
I
Okay.
have done my graduation BTech.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Fine. Thank you. And moving on to the next, Sharif.
Hi, sir. This is Sharif. Uh, I have done MBA HR. I'm having 6 years experience as a HR executive.
Okay. And your qualification, please.
MBA HR.
MBA. Thank you. And moving on to Chandrika. Sudhir, can you close your camera, please? Okay. Thank you. Chandrika. Yes. Okay. And what about Satvik?
Hello.
Satvik. Yeah.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, Suresh. Yeah, my name is
Yeah.
Satvik, and I completed my graduation in the year of 2018. And I have 3 years of 3.5 years of experience as a technical associate, currently working in Wipro.
So technical in the sense you are working as an ABAPer,
No, it is non-IT actually.
non-IT. Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. Okay. Fine. Thank you. So next moving on to Srikanth.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, my name is Shrikant. Actually, I'm a testing background, so I'm having the total 5 years of experience.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to move it to SAP HR.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Fine. Thank you. Thank you. So next, Sriram, can you hear me? Sriram, am I audible? Sriram, వెంకట్ గారు మీరు వెంకట గారు మీరు మైక్ ఆఫ్ చేయాలండి. ప్రణీత్, okay, fine. I could not hear from Sriram as well as Praneeth. So let me introduce myself. Myself, Suresh. I will be your faculty for SAP HCM, and I have 16 years of experience in SAP. So I started my career in 2007, and in this 16 years of my career, I have done 10 implementations end to end, and so I have expertise in OM, PA, payroll, time, ESSMSs, PMS, travel, e-recruitment, and some more modules as well. So in this 16 years of my career, I have done 10 implementations, and I was into support as well for a couple of years, and I have done some rollouts, and I was into some upgrade projects as well. Okay, so this is overall experience which I'm having, right? So in this SAP, so how many of you are aware of SAP? Anyone know what is SAP and how does it came into existence? And how many modules are there in SAP and how many modules are there in SAP HR? So anyone have any idea on this SAP? Yes, no. Have you ever heard of SAP? Fine. Let me share my screen. Hope you could able to see my screen. Yes. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, yes, Suresh.
Yes. Fine. Thank
Yes.
you. So what is this SAP anyway? So let's move on to the next screen. This is some of the introductions about SAP. So where SAP stands for System Applications and Products in Data Processing. So this is the abbreviation given by SAP, right? SAP stands for where S stands for systems, A stands for applications, and P stands for products and in data processing. So SAP Software is an European multinational founded in 1972 by five former IBM employees. And it is the third largest independent software vendor in the world. SAP by definition is also the name of an ERP, where ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning Software as well as the name of the company. So you can call it as SAP or you can call it as SAP ERP or you can call it as SAP ECC as well. So where SAP ECC stands for, so SAP E stands for ERP, where ERP is nothing but Enterprise Resource Planning. C stands for Central, and the other C stands for Components. So you can call it as SAP ERP. You can call it as SAP, or you can call it as SAP ECC as well. So there are three names for SAP. One is SAP by definition. The other one is SAP ERP. The other one is SAP ECC. Also, you can call it as right. SAP system consists of number of fully integrated models which covers every aspect of the business. So what is the meaning of fully integrated models? So SAP is not a standalone system. Okay. So SAP is consisting of many modules. So if I move on to the next screen, so here if you see on the screen, you'll find many modules here, right? So you have sales and distribution, material management, production planning, quality management, plant maintenance, warehouse systems, workflow, HCM, asset management, controlling, financial account. These are the some of the modules, and each module is integrated to each other, right? So it is called as fully integrated modules. So for example, if you want to manufacture a pen or a marker, so at the back end, many modules work together, but in the front end, we see only the product, how it is manufactured. But at the back end, many of the modules will work together to bring a product to the market. Whatever the product you take, whether it is a bicycle, if it is a car, whatever the product you take in the market, you see only the product in the front end. But at the back end, so many modules will work together. So what are the modules? Say suppose you want to manufacture a car, or if you want to manufacture a bicycle. So what are the things needed, or what are the modules needed at the back end to work? So these are the some of the modules which will work together. So if you take material management, if you want to manufacture a car, I want some material, right? So that is called as material management. I need a production. I want to produce the cars, number of cars in any year. So suppose I want to manufacture 1,000 cars in a year. So that is called as production planning. And I need to check the quality management. And to manufacture these cars, I want a plant. Okay. And to keep all the material in one place, I want a warehouse. Above all this, I want in finance, which is called as financial and controlling. So the other one is asset management, the workflow, and project systems is one of the module. So to all maintain all this module, we required employees as well, which comes under human resource management. So all these modules are called as integrated modules, right? That is the meaning of fully integrated. Next, 70%, 76 of the world's transaction revenue touches an SAP system. SAP touches $16 trillion of consumer purchases around the world. Over 12 million users worldwide. So SAP uses, we have 12 million users throughout the globe. So moving on to the next slide. Now S4 HANA takes ERP to the next level by using the power of in-memory computing to process vast amounts of data and to support advanced technologies such as artificial intelligence and machine language. So many of the projects at present from last 4 to 5 years, so all the projects are done on S4 HANA. So what is this S4 HANA? Do you have any idea on this S4 HANA? No? Fine. So let me explain you here. So these are the some of the modules. If you see in the middle, there is a word called SAP R3. What is the meaning of this SAP R3? So I'll explain you what is this SAP R3 in the next screen. So here, if you see here, SAP R3 is based on a three-tier client server principle. So this is some of the technical terminology which I'm using now. So what is this SAP R3? R3 is based on a three-tier client server. So where R stands for a real-time system, 3 stands for a three-tier. So in SAP, we have three systems. One is development server, the other one is quality system, the other one is production system. All these three systems are installed by an technical consultant. Okay, no need to bother from our end. So all these three systems will be installed by an basis consultant or by a technical consultant. So what is the difference between these three servers? Is development server, or we call it as presentation server, application server, or database server. Or in simple words, we can call it as development server. The other one is quality system. The other one is production system. So what is the difference between these three systems? One is development system. What is the difference between this development system and quality system and production system? Let me explain you. In this development system, again, this development system is divided into two parts. One is where as a functional consultant. So if you see here, all these modules are called as functional modules, except workflow. The other one is basis. The other one is aware. So we have in SAP we have two main modules. One is functional module, the other one is technical modules. The functional modules is nothing but all the configuration part. So there is no programming in the functional part, but in the technical scenarios, if you take technical modules, wherein we have many, we need to write many programming in the technical part, like ABAP. If you take ABAP, ABAP is nothing but is one of the module in SAP, and that comes under technical module. So what is the meaning of ABAP? ABAP is nothing but where people write the programs. Okay. And I told you the basis as well. Basis is also one of the module where basis consultant will set up the system like development server, like quality system, like production system. And there is another module called as BIBO, is also a technical module, which is nothing but business intelligence and business objects. These three modules comes under technical modules, and the others is SD, PP, QM, plant maintenance, warehouse, financial accounting, asset management, HCM, PS, and all these modules are called as functional modules. In these functional modules, there will be no programming. Only the configuration part is there. We have to do the configuration as per the client requirement, right? That is the difference between functional modules and technical modules. So here, when I'm talking about these three systems, development system, the quality system, and production system, and again, this development system is divided into two parts. One is called as pre-test, the other one is called as golden client. What is the difference between this golden client and pre-test? Golden client is nothing but where the functional consultants will do the configuration, right? And what is the system called as pre-test? Pre-test is nothing but the consultant who do the configuration will test the business scenarios in the pre-test system. So this is very important. So development system is divided into two parts. One is called as golden client, where consultants will do the configuration, and the other system is called as pre-test, where the consultants will test the business scenarios in the pre-test server, right? So in the golden client, when you're doing the configuration, in 12 digit, a 12-digit request is generated automatically. What is the meaning of this request number? So this request number is nothing but in this request number, the configuration, whatever the configuration you do, all these things, whatever the configuration you do, will be saved in a request number. Based on this request number, we will move the configuration from one system to the other system. So the configuration which you have done in the development server, which is called as golden client, the same configuration need to be moved to quality system, where all the users, all the business users will test their scenarios in quality system. Understood? In development system, as a consultant, you will do the configuration, and a 12-digit code is generated, that is called as request number. With the same request number, we have to move the configuration to the quality system. Quality system is nothing but where the business users will test their business scenarios in the quality system, right? And after testing all the scenarios in the quality system, if everything is fine and everything is as per the client requirement, then the same request number will be imported to the production system. Production system is their live system, and this system is very, very important system where business people will do their daily transactions in the production system. So this is the difference between development system, quality system, and production system. And all these are called as, this comes under basis part, and you should be aware as a functional consultant, you should be aware what is the three type system. So the meaning of three type system is nothing but R stands for real time, 3 stands for three type. Three types is nothing but development server, quality server, and the production server. Based on the industry specific best practices, all these systems were integrated. Integrated application system module in design. Moving on to the next screen. So over for 40 years, SAP has shown technologically changes in customer value. So let's see how SAP system has grown from 1972. So in 1972, it is called as SAP R1, where R stands for real time, and they have only one, whatever they do, they have done only in the one system. So enabled customers to get a complete view of their business with real time processing of data across integrated models for material procurement and accounting. In 1972, they have used only one system, and that is only used for material management, procurement, and accounting. Whatever they do, they have to do only in the one system. And after 10 years from 1972 to 1982, so they have changed to SAP R2 system. So helped customers successfully manage large global enterprises on the mainframe structure while retaining the integration and real-time processing capabilities of SAP R1. So in 1982, the system has upgraded into SAP R2. They have developed two systems. One is development or whether it is a quality. Okay, that the system is next system is production system, right? So they have done all these things in the R2 system. And after 10 years in 1992, so they have changed as SAP R3 and SAP ECC. So at present, from the last 4 to 5 years, they are doing the configuration in S4 HANA system, but the backend systems will be SAP R3, right? So in SAP S4 HANA system, they have two systems. One is R3 system as well as cloud system. So many of the people are going for the cloud. So in future, from now, maybe from 5 years from now, so SAP is going to stop SAP R3 and everything will be your configuration should be done only on S4 systems. Fine. So many of the companies, so if you see in India, many of the companies, 80% of the companies were into SAP. Okay. So as of now, they are using SAP R. So all this they have development system, they have quality system, and they have production system. And from last 5 years, all the companies already implemented SAP. They are moving into the cloud, which is nothing S4 HANA systems. Right? In 2015, S4 HANA came into picture, helps customers through in the new digital academy. We are now focused on running the live with the in-memory database technologies S4 HANA and cloud computing. So at present, we are doing all the projects on S4 HANA system. So next, moving on to this SAP HR and HCM models. So what is the difference between SAP HR and why we call it as SAP HR or why we have to call it as SAP HCM? So let's see what is the difference. SAP has SAP HR is a completely SAP module, whereas SAP HCM is a business suite. So HR is nothing but we have some modules in SAP, and all these modules are called as HR system. Like what are the modules? Organizational management is one module, personal administration is one module, time management is one module, payroll is one module, ESS, MSS is one module, PMS is one module, travel is one module. All these modules are called as SAP HR system or HRP HR. And what is the meaning of SAP HCM system? So if you see here, SAP HR modules are called as base modules. So there are four base modules in SAP HR. One is organizational management, the other one is personal administration, the other one is time management, the other one is payroll. These four modules are called as base modules of SAP HR. If you want to become an SAP HR consultant, or if you want to start your career in SAP, especially in HCM, you should be aware of these four modules. One is organizational management, the other one is personal administration, the other one is time management, the zero. And coming to this SAP HCM modules, all base modules plus all web-based applications like ESS, MSS, PMS, travel, e-recruitment, SO, SAP, PCC, e-learning. All these modules are called as web-based applications, or we call it as SAP Business Suite applications. Right? To start your career, you should be aware or you should learn these first four base modules. And after learning these four modules, you can easily learn all the web-based applications because the base is this. OM, PA, payroll, and time is the base for any of the web-based applications. If you don't learn this base modules and if you learn this web-based application, there is no use. Understood? So first you have to learn the first base four modules, which is called as OM, PA, PY, and TM. These four modules are very, very important, and this plays an important role in your career, right? So moving on to the next screen. So we'll start with the organizational management. So today we are going to discuss only about the introduction part. I'm not going to go into depth and tell you what is this organizational management deals with. I am giving only the introduction part because it's a demo class. Today and tomorrow is the demo class, and from day after tomorrow we'll have our regular classes. So day after tomorrow is nothing but today is Tuesday, 5th, so maybe it's from 6th. From maybe from 6th, we'll have our regular classes. Fine. So we'll let start OM model today. So what is this OM model? So OM is nothing but organizational management. So organizational management is one of the sub module in SAP where if you take any organization, whether it is small organization or big organization or bada big organization, whatever the organization it may be, or whatever the size of organization it may be, every organization will have an organizational structure. What is this organizational structure? So in SAP, if you want to create an organizational structure, there are five basic object types to know. Based on this based on this object types, we have to create an organizational structure which client gives us. So organizational management is based on objects and their relationships. In human resources, there are five basic object types, each with its own object type and object type key. So if you see here, object type, object keys, organizational units, which is denoted by O, jobs, which is denoted by C, positions, which is denoted by S, cost center, which is denoted by K, person, which is denoted by P. So these are the five basic object types which you have to know or which you should be aware of while creating an organizational structure in SAP. Now, a question to you is, what is the difference between a job and a position? Anyone? And give me an example. I'm not talking about SAP. In general, I'm talking about what is the difference between a job and a position. And give me an example for a job and for a position. ఎవరైనా చెప్పొచ్చు పొజిషన్ అంటే ఏంటి జాబ్ అంటే ఏంటి అండ్ వాట్ ఇస్ ద ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఫర్ ఏ జాబ్ అండ్ వాట్ ఇస్ అన్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఫర్ ఏ జాబ్ పొజిషన్ ఐడియా ఉందండి జాబ్ అంటే ఏంటో పొజిషన్ అంటే ఏంటో హలో హలో వినిపిస్తుందండి నా వాయిస్ ఎవరు మాట్లాడట్లేదు
Yes, sir.
Position is nothing but a
Sir,
person.
చెప్పండి పొజిషన్ ఇస్ నథింగ్ బట్
Uh, it describes the just like HR manager, HR executive. So that is called position. Job is nothing but a person who does the uh, day-to-day activities like morning to evening.
కెన్ గివ్ మీ an example for job and a position
Um, Position HR manager, HR executive, we can call it as a position. Job, um,
Hmm?
Mm.
For one position, we can have the many jobs.
Example.
Like in HR, I mean position, we have the associative HR, senior manager
Hmm?
HR,
Hmm.
like manager HR, payroll HR, like that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let me tell you. In
Can we
simple,
tell it as depend?
job can be. Yeah, tell me. So in our language or in our understanding language, we can take the job as your designation. Only your designation is called as job. Example: manager, senior manager, executive, etc. Right? In general, job can be described as only your designation, and position can be described as your designation, your designation plus the task which you perform, plus the task which you perform. Example: HR manager. He is a manager, and which is what is his job. And HR, he looks after HR activities. So he's called as HR manager or senior manager HR or executive HR. So like this, we can describe our positions and a job. Job is nothing but it's only your designation. Examples can be taken as manager, senior manager, executive, senior executive, whatever the designation is. Okay. Position can be taken as your designation plus the task which you perform on a daily basis. Example: HR manager, HR executive, senior HR executive, whatever designations or whatever the task you perform in an organization. So that is the main difference between a job and a position. And what is this cost center? Do you have any idea about this cost center? This cost center in real-time scenario, it's an FI terminology, but in real time, the cost centers will be created by an FICO consultant, which is nothing but finance consultant will create the cost center, and he will share the codes, and we have to assign these cost centers as per the client requirement. So, what is the meaning of this cost center? Suppose, for example, I
Cost
want to.
center the
Japandi.
cost center is like an expenditure for the organization, and it's a revenue for the
Hmm.
employee. So how much they are, I mean, keep the expenditure by
Hmm.
on that employee, that will be decided by
Hmm.
the cost center.
Cost center.
Uh,
Okay,
yeah.
thank you. Yeah, this cost center plays a very important role in the organization. So, if I want to know on particular department how much amount is spent by an organization, say suppose if I take HR department, or if I take accounts department, or if I take sales department, whatever the department it may be. So, whatever the department, so every department the cost center will be assigned based on this cost center. So, management can easily know on which department how much amount is spent every year. So based on this cost center only, we can be able to know. In real-time scenarios, this cost center will be defined at two levels. It is defined at the organizational unit level, or it can be defined at the position level as well. So if for a particular I want to know how much cost is incurred for this particular employee, so based on this cost center assignment only, we can able to know. So this cost center assignment is purely a client call. Client has to decide and tell us at what level he want to see the expenditure of an spent on a particular employee or spent on a particular department. So here we have two options. We can assign this cost center at the department level, or it can be assigned at the position level. First is nothing but the employee name. So if I move on to the next screen, so this is the sample example or sample organization structure which we have created from one of the manufacturing organization in 2000, maybe in 2011. Okay. So if you see here, if you see this organization structure, so what do you understand by this organizational structure? ఇక్కడ మీరు చూస్తే, if you see here, there is a color combination as well. So there are some 8-digit code is there, and some O is there, and is the line supervisor is there, abbreviation is there, long text is there, some dates are there, start date and date is there, right? And there is a color combination as well. Yellow color is there, blue color is there, light green color is there. So let's see one by one. So if you see here in this sample organization structure, if you take Pidilite Industries is one of the organization, right? And it is the topmost organization, and it that is called as top level organizational unit. If you see here, wherever you see O, if you see here O, that are called as object type. And if you see here, object type O means that is called as organizational unit. So if you see here, organizational unit is denoted by O. So in the sample organization structure also, wherever you find O, that is called as organizational unit, right? You can have any n number of organizational units while creating an organization structure. The whole structure is called as organization structure, and individually we call it as organizational unit. This is one of the organizational unit. Finance and accounting is one organizational unit. For accounts is one organizational unit. Finance is another organizational unit. Insurance is another organizational unit. All these are called as organizational units, right? Wherever you find O, that are called as organizational unit. And the color combination given by SAP for all the organizational units is blue color. In the real-time scenarios, whether it is an S4HANA system or whether it is an R3 system, the color combination given by SAP while creating organization structure is light blue color. So you can easily identify wherever when you are creating an organization structure, which is with blue color, that is called as organizational unit. And while you are creating this organizational units or organization structure, an 8-digit code is generated. It is generated automatically, and we have to set the number ranges. Okay. So wherever a 5 series is generated, that is predefined by SAP. మీరు ప్రాక్టీస్ చేసేటప్పుడు ఎక్కడైతే 5 సిరీస్ తో 8-digit కోడ్ వస్తుందో, దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ ఎస్ ప్రీ డిఫైన్డ్ బై ఎస్ఏపి. కొన్ని ఆర్గనైజేషన్ ఏమంటాయి అంటే, నాకు ఆర్గనైజేషన్ యూనిట్స్ అన్ని ఒక నెంబర్ సిరీస్ తో ఉండాలి, పొజిషన్స్ అన్ని ఒక నెంబర్ సిరీస్ లో ఉండాలి, జాబ్స్ అన్ని ఒక సిరీస్ లో ఉండాలంటే, అది మనం విల్ డూ ఇట్ ఇన్ ది కాన్ఫిగరేషన్ పార్ట్. ఓకే. కానీ మీరు ప్రాక్టీస్ చేసేటప్పుడు 8-digit కోడ్ 5 సిరీస్ తో వచ్చింది అంటే, దట్ ఈస్ ప్రీ డిఫైన్డ్ బై ఎస్ఏపి. మీరు ప్రాక్టీస్ చేసేటప్పుడు కూడా వైల్ యూఆర్ ప్రాక్టీసింగ్, మేక్ షూర్ దట్ 8-digit code is generated with 5 series. మీరేం కంగారు పడి 5 series తో వచ్చిందంటే నాకు ఆటోమేటిక్ వస్తుంది అని. సో దట్ ఈస్ ప్రీ డిఫైన్డ్ బై ఎస్ఏపి, రైట్? నెక్స్ట్ వన్ ఇస్ yellow color is there. Yellow color stands for position. You can identify with the object type S. So object type S is nothing but position. So the color combination given by SAP is green, light yellow, right? In the same way, holder is nothing but the person, and this is the employee number. 6002 is the employee number and the name of the employee. So here in the organization structure, nowhere you'll find a job, because job and position both are interlinked. First you have to create a job, then you have to create a position, right? So both are interlinked. So in the organization structure, don't worry, your jobs, whatever the jobs you will be creating, OEM will be not reflecting in the organization structure. Only you can able to see your position code as well as position text. So here you can see here organization unit, positions and person. So always remember, especially in SAP HR, everything goes everything goes with the dates. Dates plays a very important role, especially in SAP HR. Start date and end date. What is the start date and end date? So start date in general, we create the organization. While we are creating an organization structure in SAP, always remember your start date should be 01/01/1800 or 01/01/1900, or if you know the exact date of that particular organization, you can take that date as your start date. So while creating an organization structure in SAP, make sure you take that start date as 01/01/1800 or 01/01/1900 or the exact date of that organization. Fine. So why don't we create an organization structure with the current date? Why should we create with the past dates? Any idea? ఈ రోజు డేట్ కానీ ఈ సంవత్సరం డేట్ తో కానీ మనం ఆర్గనైజేషన్ స్ట్రక్చర్ ని ఎందుకు క్రియేట్ చేయకూడదు? దట్ ఈస్ ద క్వశ్చన్ విచ్ ఐ హావ్ ఆస్క్, అండ్ దిస్ ఈస్ వన్ ఆఫ్ ది ఇంటర్వ్యూ క్వశ్చన్. While creating an organization structure in SAP, why we should not create an organization structure with current year date or current date? ఎందుకు క్రియేట్ చేయకూడదు? ఐడియా ఉందా? Yes, no?
because it
No,
defines
sir.
the
చెప్పండి.
start date of the company, maybe.
No? Fine. సో లెట్ మీ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్. ఇప్పుడు మీరు సపోజ్ మీ అందరూ తెలుగు వచ్చు కదా? ఎవ్రీవన్ నోస్ తెలుగు, రైట్? ఎనీవన్ హూ
Yes,
స్పీక్
sir.
హిందీ? హిందీ వాళ్ళు ఎవరు లేరు అనుకుంటున్నాను. నార్త్ ఇండియన్స్ ఎవరు లేరు కదా? ఓకే, ఫైన్. సో వై యూ హ్యావ్ టు క్రియేట్ ది ఆర్గనైజేషన్ స్ట్రక్చర్ విత్ past dated dates, and why should we not create with the present date or current year date? Say suppose I want to hire 10 years back employee in the organization. ఒక 10 సంవత్సరాల ఎంప్లాయో లేకపోతే ఒక 20 సంవత్సరాల ఎంప్లాయీనో ఒక ఆర్గనైజేషన్ స్ట్రక్చర్ లో క్రియేట్ చేయాలనుకుంటున్నాను, లేకపోతే ఆ పర్టికులర్ ఎంప్లాయీని ఆర్గనైజేషన్ స్ట్రక్చర్ లో ఫిట్ చేద్దాం అనుకుంటున్నాను. నేను ఈ రోజు డేట్ తో గానీ ఈ కరెంట్ ఇయర్ డేట్ తో గానీ ఎంప్లాయీ ఆర్గనైజేషన్ స్ట్రక్చర్ ని క్రియేట్ చేస్తే, can I hire that particular employee last 10 years back employee in the system? What they start date of joining వచ్చేసి 01/01/2000 లో ఉంది. The start date of joining is 01/01/2000, and you have created the organization structure with today's year date 01/01/2023 నుంచి ఆర్గనైజేషన్ స్ట్రక్చర్ క్రియేట్ చేశారు. నేను 10 years back employee 20 years back employee హైర్ చేయాలి అంటే, కెన్ ఐ హ్యావ్ దట్ ఎంప్లాయీ ఎస్ఏపి సిస్టమ్ అని అడుగుతుంది. మనం ఈ సంవత్సరము 01/01/2023తో ఆర్గనైజేషన్ స్ట్రక్చర్ ని క్రియేట్ చేస్తే, వీ కెనాట్ హైర్ 10 years back employee ఆర్ 20 years back employee టు ద సిస్టమ్. ఎందుకు అంటే వాడు స్టార్ట్ డేట్ ఆఫ్ జాయినింగ్ ఎప్పుడో 20 years బ్యాక్ డేట్ ఉంటుంది. మీరు ఈ రోజు డేట్ తో అనుకోండి, లేకపోతే ఈ సంవత్సరం డేట్ తో క్రియేట్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్ స్ట్రక్చర్ కానీ పొజిషన్ కానీ, ఆ పొజిషన్ ఎంప్లాయీ ఆ పొజిషన్ ఆ పర్టికులర్ పొజిషన్ ఆ పర్టికులర్ ఎంప్లాయీకి అసైన్ చేస్తున్నప్పుడు ఇట్ విల్ త్రో ఎన్ ఎర్రర్. ఎందుకు అంటే ఈ ఎంప్లాయీ ఎప్పుడో 2000 లో జాయిన్ అయ్యాడు, మీరు ఆర్గనైజేషన్ స్ట్రక్చర్ ఈ రోజు డేట్ తో క్రియేట్ చేశారు కాబట్టి ఐ కెనాట్ హ్యావ్ దట్ ఎంప్లాయీ ఇన్ టు దిస్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్ స్ట్రక్చర్ అని సిస్టమ్ విల్ త్రో ఎన్ ఎర్రర్. సో ఆల్వేస్ రిమెంబర్, రియల్ టైమ్ లో కూడా ఆల్వేస్ రిమెంబర్, వెన్ యూఆర్ క్రియేటింగ్ అన్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్ స్ట్రక్చర్ ఇన్ ఎస్ఏపి, మేక్ షూర్ ద డేట్ plays a very important role. So always take the start date as 01/01/1800 or 01/01/1900 or the existing date nothing but the organizational founded date. ఏ ఏ తారీఖున అయితే ఫౌండ్ చేశారో లేకపోతే ఏ డేట్ అయితే కేమ్ ఇన్ టు ఎగ్జిస్టెన్స్, ఆ డేట్ తెలిస్తే ఆ డేట్ ఇవ్వండి. లేదు ఒకవేళ డేట్ తెలియకపోయినా కూడా యూ కెన్ టేక్ ఇట్ as 01/01/1800 or 01/01/1900. So, and always remember, once you create an organization structure in SAP, always remember the date will be 31/12/49 and you cannot change this date. ఒకసారి మీరు ఎస్ఏపిలో ఒక ఆర్గనైజేషన్ స్ట్రక్చర్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తే ద ఎండ్ డేట్ వచ్చేసి 31/12/49 ఉంటుంది. సో యూ కెనాట్ చేంజ్ దిస్ డేట్. 31/12/49 అనేది యూ కెనాట్ చేంజ్. సో మీ ఫార్మాట్ చేసేంత వరకు ఆ సిస్టమ్ మీ సిస్టమ్ లో ఈ ఆర్గనైజేషన్ స్ట్రక్చర్ ఉంటానే ఉంటుంది, రైట్? సో దట్ ఈస్ ది ఇంపార్టెంట్ బిట్వీన్ ది స్టార్ట్ డేట్. మీరు ఇక్కడ చూస్తే చూడండి, పొజిషన్స్ కానీ ఆర్గనైజేషన్ యూనిట్స్ కానీ 01/01/1900 నుంచి 31/12/49. సో ఇంకొక 9 కట్ అయిపోయింది, నేను స్క్రీన్ షాట్ తీస్తున్నప్పుడు ఇట్ విల్ బి 31/12/49, రైట్? చూడండి, అన్ని డేట్స్ ఒకటే డేట్స్ ఉన్నాయి, కానీ పొజిషన్ దగ్గర డేట్ వచ్చేసి 1/2/2011 ఉంది. సో ఈ పర్టికులర్ ఎంప్లాయీ సురేష్ అనే ఎంప్లాయీ ఈ డేట్ ని జాయిన్ అయ్యాడు. ఒకసారి ఎస్ఏపి సిస్టమ్ లో ఈ డేట్ లో జాయిన్ అయ్యాడంటే ఎండ్ డేట్ వచ్చేసి 31/12/49 ఉంటుంది. ఎందుకంటే ఈ పర్టికులర్ ఎంప్లాయీ ఈ ఆర్గనైజేషన్ లో నుంచి ఎప్పుడు వెళ్ళిపోతాడో మనకు తెలియదు. యూ డోంట్ నో ది ఎండ్ డేట్ ఆఫ్ దట్ పర్టికులర్ ఎంప్లాయీ హూ హ్యాస్ జాయిన్ టుడే. ఎప్పుడైనా వెళ్ళిపోవచ్చు, ఒక 5 years ఉండొచ్చు, 10 years ఉండొచ్చు, 20 years ఉండొచ్చు, రైట్? సో ఆల్వేస్ రిమెంబర్ ద ఎండ్ డేట్ విల్ బి 31/12/49. Anyway, this dates I will explain you in the PA as well. But while I'm creating this organization structure, make sure in the real time also you take the date as 01/01/1800 or 1900 or the existing uh, founded date, right? So moving on to the next screen, organizational management. So what is an organizational unit? Organizational unit describes the different departments in the enterprise. Many organizational units build an organization structure. So you can build the organization structure by department, by region, or by the business process, right? Next one is positions. Positions are specification tied to an organizational unit and are held by individuals in your enterprise. So examples can be manager, purchasing manager, sales, or sales manager, or manager HR. Positions are specific to your organization. Each position is typically occupied by one employee. A position can, however, be filled by more than one employee. What do you understand between the first line and the second line? Each position is typically occupied by one employee. So always remember, so while you are creating a position, an code is generated, and this position code need to be assigned to only per particular one employee. You cannot assign this particular code to two employees. That is the meaning. But in general, a position can, however, be filled by more than one employee, right? And these are the tasks. Tasks describe the responsibilities of jobs and positions, what activities are performed. Next, moving on to the is not required as of now. Persons is not required, and relationships. So I'll move on to the next screen. I'll explain you this screen. So this is very important. This screen is very important. So say suppose keeping position in the center, keeping the position as in the center. So if you when you are creating this organization, when you are creating this organization structure, at the back end, some relationships are built. So in the first screen, organization management is based on objects and relationships. What is this? The meaning of this relationship? When you are creating organization structure, at the back end, some relationships are built. So what are these relationships that are built? Making position as the center, this many relationships are built. This many relationships are built at the back end. So let's see by one. From top to bottom, or we can read from bottom to top as well. So making keeping the position in the center, I'll read from both ends. Position belongs to this particular organization, or organizational unit incorporates position. Understood? When you read from bottom to top, it is called as belongs to, and when you are reading from top to bottom, it is called as incorporates. This is the terminology that SAP has given, and we have to follow this terminology. This terminology, SAP has given the code as well. So the codes will be discussed in the regular classes. As of now, you make it, you read it as like this. Position belongs to organizational unit. Organization incorporates a position. Next, position is described by a job. Job describes a position. Next, job is described by a task. Task describes a job. Next, position is described by a task. Task describes a position. Next, position holds the person. Person occupies a position. Next one, position incorporates a work center. Work center belongs to a position. Next one, position is assigned to a cost center. Understood? So these are the relationships that are built at the back end when you are creating a single position. Nearly 8 relationships are built at the back end while creating a single position. సో ఇలాగో మీరు ఎన్ని పొజిషన్స్ అయితే క్రియేట్ చేస్తారో అన్ని పొజిషన్స్ కి రిలేషన్షిప్ అనేది బిల్డ్ అవుతుంది రైట్ సో పొజిషన్ బిలాంగ్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్ యూనిట్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్ ఇన్కార్పొరేట్స్ పొజిషన్ నెక్స్ట్ వన్ ఇస్ పొజిషన్ is described as job job describes a position job is described by a task task describes a job task describes a position position is described by a task position holds the person person occupies a position position incorporates a work center work center belongs to a position and position is assigned to a call center. So these are the relationships that are built in OM. And some of the reports, standard reports which SAP has given. So this will be discussed in the regular classes. So this is some of the introduction related to OM. So you have any questions on this OM, organizational management? Any questions, please? Yes, no, fine. So with this, today's demo I will be ending here. Tomorrow in the tomorrow's demo, we are going to deal with PA, time, and payroll. 3 modules will be covered at one go. Fine. Any questions, please?
Is
Any
position
questions?
mandatory to create an organization structure?
Yes. You have to assign this position to an organization for a person. పొజిషన్స్ లేకుండా ఆర్గనైజేషన్ స్ట్రక్చర్ క్రియేట్ చేసుకుని ఏం చేస్తారండి ఈ పొజిషన్ ఎంప్లాయీకి అసైన్ చేయాలి కదా ఎనీ అదర్ క్వశ్చన్స్ ప్లీజ్ Fine. If you don't have any questions, we'll wind up the demonstration for today and we'll connect tomorrow at 7 o'clock for other 3 modules demo. Fine. Thank you all. Have a nice day.